the 1-2. Drill deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. Up for grabs. There's his walk-off home run. And the Yankees have come back to win it. 6-5. Oh, man. What a blast by Judge.
Now Barkley up the middle, cuts to the outside. Saquon Barkley across midfield. Down the sideline. Stayed in bounds. And Barkley takes it all the way. 68 yards.
Turner drives one to center, chasing Nimmo back to the warning track right at the fence. He made the catch! Oh, whoa! The catch of the year from Brandon Nimmo! He took a home run away from Justin Turner!
On the move. A lot of time. Directing traffic. Gonna go deep. Has a man deep. It is caught for the touchdown. Torrey Davis.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
You know, that sound is actually the sound you heard all weekend from Mets and Yankees fans. Just crying and pain and misery and sorrow and suffering. It's not what you want. Another piss-poor weekend for the Mets and Yankees, and would you look at that for Giants fans? We're going to talk about Saquon Barkley today, unable to reach a deal with the team. Is he going to sit out the season? Let's talk about it on WHPC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. It's Monday, so it's your host for today, Joshua Umahi. Joined by me, I have Ross Levine. How are we doing, Ross?
I'm doing well. It stings that Saquon Barkley did not reach a deal, but hopefully the Giants can still find a way this season.
You got Daniel Jones. You hate him?
You got Daniel Jones.
You got Daniel Jones?
Hey, listen, he runs. He does run.
He does run. Maybe
not fast, but he runs.
Yeah.
Maybe he could be the starting running back this year, quarterback and running back.
You saw him trip up that one time.
Yeah.
It's one time.
Oh my God,
one time. You know, ancient history. Devin O'Shea, how are we doing?
Doing well. My Mets suck, but every day that gets the next day is a day closer to the football season, so it's got to be a good day.
Oh, you a Cowboys fan?
Yeah.
Your boy Dak. I'm going to throw less than 10 picks. All right, we'll see about that, bro. We'll see about that. Jake Boyko, how are we doing today?
Yeah, I'm not putting the under.
Every day I wake up, it just gets harder and harder at this point.
Yeah.
There's no anything. I don't even care anymore. It's just such a lost cause for both teams. Why would I? There's nothing even to. They just suck.
You're not angry enough.
I'm really not. It's just they suck. Especially, I'm not even going to say especially the Mets, because the Yankees, it's a joke
today?
at this point.
You're not.
Of course. How could I not see who's pitching today against Ohtani? That's going to go great, because why would that end well?
Severino.
You're not angry enough.
Well, at least my team has a winning record, so that's why I'm a little bit more calm. But
the Mets fans in the room are not angry enough.
I mean, he switched sides.
Let's start right where we need to start.
Hey, man.
3 runs scored in 3 games.
I mean, 4 days
One
off,
hit.
it's not too bad. I mean,
That's not too bad.
not the worst of it.
That's not too bad. If the 3 runs were scored in 1 inning, I'd be happy. But no, 3 runs across 3 games. They've only won 1 out of the 3 games. They're now mathematically eliminated from the playoffs as far as I'm concerned. I'm not good at math. And it's just disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Josh and I were at the game Friday, and we were crying over that Brett Beatty drop ball and DJ Stewart drop ball. Who the hell's DJ Stewart anyway? Get off this
an
damn
NPC.
team.
He's an NPC. You know what's funny about that Brett Beatty drop? That was crazy because it not only, first off, the ball took a crazy flight like it was on
I know. I saw all these 3D images on social. Give me a break.
It was in foul ground and it was in fair ground. It was a tougher play than usual, but, bro, you can't have the ball hit you in the face, bro. Come on, bro.
Felt like James Harden when he like slammed the ball on the ground.
Yeah,
slapped himself in the face.
And Josh Hart's looking like, yo, what are you doing? Like, what is going on in Citi Field? I mean, we're going to talk about it, like Novat said. 516-572-7440. That is number 2. Call to enter the Sports Talk rant line. Mets fans, Yankees fans, Giants fans, we want to hear from you. You can also text the show at 516-905-WHPC. That's 516-905-9472. Well, you see on the topic sheet, Mets embarrassment versus Dodgers. Because that's really the only way I can put it. And like I told Jake pre-show.
Because there is no reason to keep trying to go back with this team in 2024. I'm going to say this right now. If the New York Mets go back with the same team in 2024 with the exact same rotation and the exact same lineup, I have a bass guitar at home. I have a bat. I'm probably gonna break it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. If they bring it back, the same team, no changes, nothing.
Another whole year of Verlander and Scherzer.
Yeah, no, breaking that guitar. I have a bat, so like I'm gonna break it because come on, like really, you cannot bring this garbage back. No way. Lineup. Like, I can name 8 players on this team that should be out of here. I can name 8.
Only 8?
I can name more.
10? I can name...
Only 10?
15.
Thank you. That's reasonable.
Okay.
The lineup is a nine-person thing. I can name at least probably 7 of them.
I mean, Scherzer... Get out of here. I don't even care that he had a great start yesterday. Goodbye. You only performed because there was no pressure.
Well, he said he figured something out. It was something with his left foot mechanically.
Oh, my God.
That's why he was stinking up the joint for the first.
That's why all those home runs are happening this year?
I guess so. His left foot placement, bro. Like
the foot placement.
I don't know. By the way, I don't know what the pitching coaches is doing, like Jeremy Hefner. Even if that's like a reputable excuse, how you not see that like earlier on when we were actually playing for something?
Yeah, like isn't that your job?
Yeah, it's your job. It's on your job description.
So Hefner can go too. That's another guy. Jeff
Buck,
McNeil,
Epler.
Realistically, who could stay besides Alvarez and like maybe Pete? Yeah, sure, but like,
Cohen and his
who
money
could stay on this team? Like
Cohen and his money can stay.
Yeah.
Unless your name, I mean, you make good. You always make a good point. Like unless your name is Alvarez,
Senga.
Yeah, you're right. Senga, I forgot. Senga, Nimmo, you're on the table.
It's really 4 or 5 players that are not even acceptable. Just it's 4 or 5 players that are playing like a major leaguer. It's not even.
Yeah, like
David Robertson's.
I mean, they're gonna move.
That's the only name in the bullpen that is good.
What are you even gonna get for him, really, though? Because you're not getting much.
Just probably like 2 prospects.
I will say Robertson, when he got traded by the Cubs last year, they got a good prospect back. So you could technically get something decent for. I'm not holding my breath on that, but you might get something for Robertson. But Ottavino out of here. Rayleigh's been okay, but he's 35 years old. There's a lot of guys. McNeil, get out of here. I don't even want to say this guy.
12 million.
He's
Marte,
a joke.
18 million. Out of here.
He's a joke. He works too much on his golf swing. Like, dude, play baseball. Isn't that your job? Play baseball, not golf. That's so. And then they come up with excuses like, oh, maybe he doesn't have the shift. There's no shift anymore. Well, it's the hit. Like, no, stop making excuses for the guy. Like the guy
did the same thing
terrible.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. I mean, every other year the guy decides not to show up. So,
well, I mean, that just speaks to how mentally weak the team is. I mean, that's not a shock.
For sure.
I mean, that's what we've been saying the entire season.
And this is the perfect thing when you talk about like the softness on this team. They don't know how to play the game. When they lost on Saturday, this is when the Beatty drop happened. Alonso threw the ball high to second base. Pete Alonso actually said after the game, he had the balls to say that was a decent throw. What the hell? Like, that throw was way off, buddy.
Nobody on this team ever takes any accountability for anything.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Lindor had to jump and catch it. That means it's a bad throw. So it doesn't make any sense that, I mean, Pete, are you hurt? Because if you're hurt, don't play.
The wrist has got to still be a problem. The wrist has got to still be a problem.
He has 1 hit in the past, like right around 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
You know what? No, on that, like, yeah, he's been hurt and that can affect him with the bat. But, bro, on that play, and I was telling Novak this at the game, like, It's fundamentals. Like Keith
I
would say,
agree.
literally, if we had the SNY broadcast doing the game, that's bad fundies. Yo, I didn't even play first base in Little League, but you're taught to, when it's a right to you and it's a double play ball, move aside from the runner, move out of the way of the runner, and just throw at a good angle. You're trying to throw over the runner. Like, what is that?
But
you want to be a
last 30 days, 148 average.
Fam, it's like you're not good with the bat, you're not good with the glove, and the Mets actually had to come out and say, yo, we're not trading Pete Alonso. That's how bad he's been. You might, like, even if you wanted to trade him, you can't sell low on a guy that can hit 50 home runs in a season.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you want.
And the big thing, too, is, like, we saw this during when Beatty made that, it was an embarrassing error where he couldn't catch that pop-up.
Face plant.
AJ, on the Fox broadcast, you know who they were ripping? They were ripping Lindor, because Lindor did nothing. He was like a plant seed. He didn't do anything. He was like looking, he wasn't even part of the picture. And I'm like, dude, get over there and help the guy out. Like,
Gold glove shortstop.
Yeah, like aren't you the veteran on the team? So that, it again, speaks to the lack of leadership on the team. That's a big problem. And there's something going on in the locker room. You cannot tell me there's nothing going on, because I see it every day. They show the pictures on these guys, on the faces. They zoom in. Nimmo looks very annoyed, and everybody talks about Nimmo being the happiest man in baseball. Well, Nimmo looks pissed off. That's number one. And even Tommy Pham, like, to an extent, like the Mets were. This was a week ago when the Mets were on that 6-game winning streak. The Mets were winning this game 9-0 over the Arizona Diamondbacks. And he struck out the baseball and he slammed the helmet down. I'm like, dude, it's 9-0. There's something wrong in that locker room.
Yeah. That win streak gave us too much hope.
That was the worst thing.
That gave y'all too much hope. Because I was the one saying, like, yo, y'all got to chill. Like, yeah, the Mets is going on a run. We beat the Diamondbacks and we're going to San Diego and we win the first game in San Diego. I'm like, yo, hold up. First off, the Padres ain't even that good. Like, let's see how the next 2 games play out. Spoiler alert, they lost the next 2 games, and then it's been, a significant drop ever since then. Like, you look at this weekend, I don't even care that they won yesterday. I'm not even going to talk about that. Although I will talk about another weird Buck Showalter bullpen decision. Yeah, you just got to bring in, what's his name, Trevor Gott? Yeah, famed 8th inning reliever Trevor Gott.
Greatest setup man I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't understand him at all.
He's got like this affinity for NPCs out the bullpen. What is this?
And to make it even crazy about that game, because I knew it when they had the 1-0 lead. I'm like, Dave Robertson can't pitch the 8th. But he can pitch the 9th. He can pitch a tie game, but not with the lead.
You got to save David Robinson for the 9th because when the game's falling apart in the 8th inning, I mean, you got to have him for the 9th.
The whole thing with Buck and like the management, like I just don't understand. Like first of all, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm a Yankee fan looking in on the whole Mets situation, but Alvarez is a very young player, and you have an off day the next day. I'm kind of
you had a week.
It doesn't make sense. Not only that, you literally, like, the Mets do not play today. There's no how is he not he's your best hitter in your lineup. How are you not playing him? I get he's a catcher and needs a break. Okay, he's like 21 years old, bro. Like he's good. Like
he's 21. You have a day off today. You had a week off. Yo,
wasn't playing during the All-Star game.
It's just stuff like that. Like it just all adds up to the whole mental aspect that you guys were talking about. Like it messes with your head. If you know that you're one of the best players on this team at the moment and you're not being played, like that that's a whole mental.
And I mean, I'm just also the big thing too is there's very little accountability after games.
Oh yeah.
Like
we've blown games. Like that was the right decision. It's like clearly it wasn't.
Well, he's proud of
clearly it wasn't.
He's proud of the team.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that's the thing with Boone too, though. It's the same thing with every team. It's we got to do better. Like oh really? No, you got to do worse. Like thanks. That really helps.
It's like when like for an example when it was against the Phillies when the Mets they couldn't catch a pop up. It was a big Buck kept saying well, it was too sunny out there. Like it was a tough play. Like no, buddy, no. These guys are major leaguers. Can you catch the ball? That's your job. I don't care if you're a guy that's making your debut or you're a guy that's you're 22, you're 32. I don't care. It's a pop up. Catch the damn ball. I mean, even Boone does it all the time when like we had really good at bats today, but you didn't score any runs.
But we didn't hit the ball. Like how is it a good at bat then?
But you see that's the similarity with both New York baseball teams. Both managers, there's no accountability. I mean, you see this. You see
Steinbrenner was talking about how he was pissed off at fans about how they were pissed off, and
right.
They're in last place right now.
If the real Steinbrenner was still alive, this team would be so different right now.
And by the way, because people don't see because we're on the radio. I'm wearing a Garrett Cole uniform because they should never taken Garrett Cole out of the game yesterday because he was dominant, and he's one of the best pitchers in baseball.
11 strikeouts, I think over 6.
I had to respect him, and Coors Field he did. I gotta respect. That's why I gotta wear the Cole uniform, and I love the guy.
What prompted you to buy a Cole uniform?
My dad put it on my room. It was not even my idea,
okay. But there you go, son.
But I'm just gonna say when it comes to the Mets, so they need a different philosophy in the clubhouse because you cannot. It's almost like it's okay to make mistakes, and that.
Yeah, because you know, Buck Showalter's going to give you, even if you make a mistake, Buck Showalter's going to go there and collar you and rub your back of your head, and like it's all good. Like, yo, it's the highest payroll in baseball. I'm sorry, like these are grown men. Aside from Alvarez and Beatty and all those guys, these are grown ass men who have a winning history, and we just letting them do whatever on the field. Like, I want to talk about Well, Friday, we don't even got to talk about either. Nimmo had a leadoff home run, turned double. First at bat of the game, the Mets did not get another hit for the rest of the game. They lost 6-0. I want to focus on Saturday because Kodai Senga, and y'all know how much I love Kodai Senga. Like, I wore his jersey to the game. I love the whole ghost fork thing. I love the little animation they put, like the Sega thing on the scoreboard every time he strikes somebody out. 9 strikeouts, just completely dominant, but let's get to the 8th inning. Let's just fast forward to the 8th inning. So, it's a tie game. Actually, not before that. Let's go. We talked about the Alonso, the bad throw and a double play. That's easily should be made. That's fundamentals at its finest. That weren't converted. You got this guy DJ Stewart, NPC, drop a fly ball. First off, you drop it in fair territory. You overrun the ball and you drop it in fair territory. We talk about the Beatty infield pop-up, but I mean. And Grant Hartwig came in, he's got a sub-1 ERA. That's great. It's not much of a sample size. When David Robertson, that's your most reliable reliever in a crucial game. And Buck Showalter, aside from the Alvarez thing, which we talked about, like, this guy does not have it. I got to look at it for what it is. Maybe last year was fool's gold. You look at it, 2021, the year before, we fell off a cliff. 2022, 101 wins. First year, Buck Showalter comes in, changes the culture and all that stuff.
Manager
Jeff McNeil. Yep. End of the year just completely collapses, and it was like a sinking ship, like the Titanic. Shout out those guys in the submarine. But once it starts sinking, you can't save it. Like it was a wrap when September hit.
That's us down there.
It's us. It's WHPC Sports Talk in the submarine. I mean, it's just all around bad. And you look at the Mets. Yeah, we know they suck. We know they suck. That's not news.
It's not. No.
But let's talk about the Yankees. Because
that was like, they did like an artist job of blowing that game.
Do we have to?
All right, bro. I don't even know what else to say. It's just
that we go and keep saying every week.
Seriously, it's not. I don't even care. You know what? They lost 2-3. I recorded that last night, actually, but at this point,
it's all bad, yo.
Yeah, we lost to one of the worst teams in the league yesterday. Whatever, but let's talk about the real, like the fun stuff. Luis Severino versus Shohei Ohtani tonight. What could possibly go wrong? Seriously, what could possibly go wrong? There's no. I mean, obviously, Shohei's going to go 0 for 4, but it's like
he's taking Severino deep.
It's just, of course he's taking him deep every at bat, and it's going to be a grand slam every at bat. But it's just, I feel like the main issue, not even the issue. It's just like you have this Yankees bullpen who's been good all year. Out of nowhere, now they're falling apart.
The only thing you had going
exactly.
for you.
It's now. So now we can't hit. We could barely pitch, and we can't relief pitch. It's
that bullpen is completely falling apart.
Mario
Sano has been terrible.
They literally went from the best bullpen in the league, not even a doubt about it, to whatever this is.
So I don't know if you remember, but this was when the bullpen fell apart. When Jimmy Cordero, when he had that whole suspension, domestic violence,
being his wife thing.
Yeah.
Don't be your wives.
At that point, ever since then, the bullpen's been bad.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, they should have taken the guy. Didn't take Garrett Cole out. By the that's why I'm wearing it. But the bullpen, I even said at the time when they took him out, that's what happened when you take an ace out. That's what happens when you put your bullpen in the game in Coors Field. That's what happens when you take out the ace pitcher. And, you know, the bullpen, if you really look at Clay Holmes, you know, he's been very good for them, but he gives up a grand slam. You know,
Like
can't allow that.
After 6 innings, he had 2 hits, only 1 run, and 11 strikeouts.
I don't know how you take that guy out.
Those numbers are incredible.
At Coors Field too.
He did the same thing just the other. Boone did the same thing just the other day, where he took out Germán. I think it was Germán that he took out.
He's terrible with the bullpen. I really think he is. He actually kind of pulled off a Buck Showalter yesterday because he decided in the 11th inning when the Yankees had a 2-run lead, they kept in the pitcher. They put in Nick Ramirez. Nick Ramirez is terrible, not that good. And he's not a closer. Like, Nick Ramirez is not a closer. And he gave up a 2-run homer. And I thought Ron Marinaccio was the closer. Then he comes in the tie game. So you couldn't have him when you had the lead. Yeah. But when it's tied, you could pitch him. And then he gets up a home run. So that's what I mean by Boone's mismanagement. And actually, it was something that was very underrated. A play that really cost them. Well, could have. The Yankees tied the game in the 9th inning. And the guy got thrown out going to third. That's a killer play because if you stayed at second...
You want those back.
Maybe they could have taken the lead in that inning and they would have won. So that's again, they're not a smart team.
I have a crazy idea. How about if you want to win, you score more than 3 runs over like 7 or 8 innings, whatever it was, against one of the worst teams in the league. It's so...
At Coors Field.
Seriously, you're at Coors Field. You have Giancarlo Stanton on your freaking roster. Like, bro, are you like you literally can't? It's literally like I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm just so done, and I just can't wait to see how bad tonight goes. It's gonna be so funny.
You happy Peraza is up?
Oh yeah, at least he's hitting. Someone at least knows how to hit a baseball. A nice little RBI from him. But I mean. And the thing is he's going to be up, and they said that he's here now. He has his time. No, he doesn't. Okay, give it 10 days. Give it a week and a half. Donaldson will be back, and he'll be right back down.
Even if Peraza does well, he'll still be sent down.
This team can't hit. They can't pitch, and the management sucks. The front office sucks. Everything about it sucks. It is what it is.
Does it suck, Jake?
Yes, it sucks.
It sucks. It definitely sucks. Let's see what the caller has to say about See what the caller has to say about things. Caller, you are on WHPC Sports Talk. Identify yourself, behave yourself. Tell us what's going on.
Hey guys, Steve from Franklin Square. How's it going?
Steve. What's up, Steve? Talk to me.
Listen, I just wanted to let you guys know that the English language doesn't include every 3 words for one.
Are you a English professor, sir?
I am not. How about Josh Donaldson getting hurt yesterday? Aren't Yankee fans happy?
No, I was actually pretty sad about it, honestly.
Yeah, it's funny.
I mean, the guy's batting 130. He's played a total of 30 games this year. I just hope he retires at this point.
Me too. I feel like he's been somewhat solid, though, throughout the year. You can't really, not much to complain about, though.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Howard may be on the injured list. That's about it.
Yeah, he sucks. His career was over 3 years ago. It's the fact that he still has a major league job on any team, let alone the New York Yankees, it's pathetic.
Yeah, well, both the Mets and the Yankees have a problem with bringing in these senior citizen players. I don't get it either.
I'm tired of it, and this is my entire point. Like, this is why it sucks to watch the Mets and the Yankees, because if it was a young, energetic team that just had some tough losses and they played hard, you wouldn't care as much. But these teams are old, slow, they're impassionate, they're senile. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Like,
I mean, if you look back, Derek Jeter's first year, he was horrendous. You got to take a chance on the young guys. You got to bring Peraza in. What happened to Florio? He played 1 game. Get this guy back in there. Get the young guys in there. Give them a year or 2. Okay, we may not do so well, but by year 3 or 4, we might have a team like we did in the 90s.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, you're right, and you got to get the young talent up, but as it sits right now, the Yankees are a long way away from going back to the glory days in the 90s. That's a long way away. Like, you got to help all these guys turn into something.
Gene the Stick Michael, he ran a farm system like nobody else, and we need to start focusing on bringing the young guys in. We can't keep signing old players for $30 million a year. Stanton, Donaldson, DJ. Although DJ at $15 million, I think, was a steal.
At the time, for sure. I don't know what the heck happened to him, but he's another one. He just decides to not hit.
He's got 9 or 10 hits in the last 4 games, so hopefully he's coming around.
He has to. There's so much that has happened with this team. That's one of the main things, though, for sure.
And one of the problems with the Mets, I noticed, in their draft, only 9% of the people they draft ever make it to the major leagues. That's pretty pathetic. In fact, they're the worst team draft-wise in the league.
And that's your point, and the reason why you look at why they have to pay Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander, they got to pay these senior citizens all this money is because they don't have any pitching depth in the minor leagues.
No,
it's non-existent.
Both teams need to pull up that little white bus and put these seniors on and say goodbye.
Yeah, nursing home soon come for a lot of these guys. Steve, thank you for the call, my man.
Thank you. And again, listen, guys, I love you. Stop using the word like so much, please. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Message received.
See you later, Steve.
Hey, man, listen, school's out. You know, we're on a college campus, but, you know, I don't know. I don't remember my grade in English 101.
Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.
Guys, I have audio. I have audio of... Let me just work on this. Yeah, it's because you had the Yankees announcers.
Oh my God! Don't do it. You're gonna do it to me. You're really gonna do it to me.
I thought this was Skip.
It's not Skip this time.
No, she's just predicting that.
Let's see if I can figure this out.
I hope you don't.
I
honestly hope you don't. I do not want to hear that again. My ears are gonna start bleeding.
You guys haven't hell all year.
It just there's no words.
People can mess with the board, but I always win. Here's the audio of what happened yesterday afternoon to the Yankees. And just listen to the announcer jinx that goes on here.
120 at-bats, does not have a home run this year.
Right on cue.
A game-winning walk-off home run.
Like, so you can suck. And this is my issue with the Mets and Yankees. Like, you can suck. You could be a two-pack of ass. You can be doo-doo. But you can't be a joke. Like the Beatty dropping the pop-up, and then you had that. Oh, he didn't have a home run in 100 million at-bats.
What a weekend.
Yo,
what a weekend.
Just both teams are a joke, and I'm tired of... I'm a prideful New York sports fan. I know I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Saints fan, but I respect the both teams. I want both teams to do well. But too many times the last decade where we haven't seen any championships, they've been taken for a joke. Like, both teams have been a joke.
I mean, there hasn't
been baseball right here.
Well, there hasn't been a New York championship since the Giants in 2012. The New York Giants. That was really
That's 11 years ago.
I was in 5th grade.
I was 13.
That's 11 years ago, man. Like, and it's been a lot of losing. Yeah, it's been some winning, but it's been a lot of like. People look at New York like, yo, you're the biggest market in the world, not just the country, the world. And we have all these teams. We have, 9 teams? How do all of these teams not even just lose year after year after year, don't even come close to championships, but they embarrass themselves day in and day out? Baseball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer even.
Yeah,
I know. It's ridiculous when it comes to that. I mean, there's just, you look at every team, the way it's built, there's one similarity with all of them, and that's they never commit to a rebuild. They never ever do.
Well, that the old saying in New York sports is, "Oh, you can't rebuild in New York," but
you kind of have to.
You might have to.
I just wish that these two stupid, pathetic franchises would just understand that if they sold at this deadline, it would just be so much better for them.
Well, I would almost say, like when you see, because these managers that the baseball has, Mets, Yankees, they're both just bad. Like
it's a joke. There's no front office.
In the next 2 years, they'll both be gone.
They give money to anyone and everyone. It's.
I mean, like, you know, we saw this even like a couple years ago when the Mets when Rojas was the manager, and you know Taijuan Walker was on the mound, and they took him out, and Walker was so pissed off, and you know we see this all the time. Like the Yankees yesterday with Garrett Cole, You know, the reason why I respect aces like Garrett Cole and the reason why I'm wearing the uniform like Garrett Cole is because those guys take the ball every 5th day, and they're good to they're cool to watch. You know, like I'm not a fan of them. I'm a Dodgers fan, unfortunately, because the Mets. I tried to be a Mets fan for so long, and it failed miserably.
Yeah, Ross, you're the only one I can't fault for jumping shit.
I had.
Yeah,
to
I
jump
really
ship.
can't fault.
really
I can't
did.
fault you.
Listen, the Dodgers were from Brooklyn. I was from there, so I gotta go by what I was born from. So the Mets are they're bad. I hate saying it, but they're bad.
It's looking like both teams. And the question I had here on the topic sheet, real quick, you can go around the room. Is it finally time for both teams to pack up all hope? It's over? Over for both teams, even the Yankees.
It was over a month ago.
I mean, with Judge, until Judge can come back, they're going to continue to score the least amount of runs than the Royals probably. Like they are so bad at scoring runs right now. Like but the pitching and the bullpen can't even get you some wins because of how low scoring you're getting. Like it's
at this point, who cares if Judge comes back? What's the point? Like, you might as well just sit him because
last place right now.
At this point, let him get healthy. Whatever. This season, I don't know why people still think there's a chance. Like, sure, we're a game and a half back of the wild card. I don't care. That means nothing to me.
Aaron Judge,
it's so over. Number one. Number two. Let's say they do go out and make a crazy trade for someone like Ohtani or Arenado or Soto, whatever. What is that going to accomplish? Yes, that will help, but this team is so more far gone than one big hitter or two big hitters or one big arm. There's so much more that needs to be done, and it's stuff that can't be done at a trade deadline.
Yeah, it's more than one move.
Exactly. Just break it down.
Aaron Judge is funny too because he's over here sitting over a couple months like, oh, my toe, my little toe.
And that's so annoying because you know he wants to play.
I know.
That's so not
I'm
who
joking,
he is.
but it's all bad with these teams right now.
I don't think anybody had a Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees being tied for the same record going to the season.
There is a legitimate chance, and we talked about it pre-show with Devin. He brought it up. The Mets are only 6 games ahead of the Nationals, and I would bet more on the Mets to sink in the standings than swim upwards.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance both these teams with the 2 highest or top 3 highest payrolls in baseball could be in last place at season's end. That's what we're talking about. It's pathetic. It's disgusting.
Such a disappointment.
And both teams are very similar in the sense that they both can't beat bad teams. It's very similar.
There's no logic behind it. It makes no sense.
I mean, you know what? Yeah. I hope it happens. I genuinely hope that both teams finish last because they can face the embarrassment of what's in front of them. The fans see it. It's time for the front offices to see it.
If they try at the trade deadline and they don't sell. And the Yankees, for instance, the
Yankees going to buy. I'm just telling everybody that right now.
But why? They're gonna buy. I don't care that you're the Yankees. It's so annoying.
And if you fall back maybe a game or two behind the wild card to end the season, if you just missed the wild card by a few games, they might not even switch up too many things on that team.
That should be everybody's worst. If you're a New York baseball fan, that should be your worst fear. Both teams go on a run. Miss the playoffs, but they're going to do enough for the
if you're average enough, you're average enough, then you're not going to change anything around that spot.
They're going to sell to the front office, and they're going to try to sell to people look, it's a good team in here somewhere, and then we're going to have the same exact thing next year.
Yeah, we just need 1 or 2 changes. No, you need a lot of changes. You need to change a lot of stuff.
Both these teams.
And that's why I would root for them when they're eliminated from the postseason, just lose every game. I really don't see the point in winning.
Me too. That's what I'm saying. There is no point. The season is over for both teams. It was over a very long time ago. There's no need.
I'll leave it with this. Once I saw the Mets and Yankees lose, the Yankees of late, they lost to a lot of bad teams. But the Mets, I saw this when they were in 4-9, that 13-game stretch where they couldn't beat those bad teams. That's when we should have realized.
I think we should have realized in June.
When they got swept by the Braves?
When we didn't win a single series.
Yeah, that might be I might do it.
Well, we're going to continue to take your calls, but we are going to take a quick timeout. After the break, we have some Giants news to report. Saquon Barkley and the franchise did not reach a deal by the deadline. What does that mean for the Giants, and what does that mean for Saquon Barkley? We're going to talk about it back in 30 seconds on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by Pantanos, with 4 locations, including Pantanos Gourmet in Hewlett and Uniondale, and Pantanos Does Bagels in Garden City Park, and now open at 197 Atlantic Avenue in Freeport.
Featuring hand-rolled bagels, desserts, smoothies, acai bowls, and more. Serving breakfast all day, plus wraps, salads, burgers, and more. More information and the full menu is available online at pantanosgourmet.com.
And I love GreatBagels.com.
Oh, Pantanos! Back with Sports Talk on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. It is Joshua Umahi, joined by Jake Boyko, Devin O'Shea, Ross Levine. Heard the Pantanos promo. We're going to bring you your WHPC weather forecast powered by Pantanos with locations in Hewlett, Uniondale, Garden City Park, Freeport, and now open in Levittown. I mean, it's hot. It's hot, y'all. Just walk outside, start melting. Like it's 91 degrees, feels like 101.
Just see me at the gym earlier.
Oh, man, I can imagine.
Drenched.
It's all bad. Like usually I go out for a run every morning in the summer. I couldn't even do it this morning because it's
just uncomfortable hot.
Yeah, it's just too humid.
It's
it's bad. But hey, if y'all hot outside, go cool down at Pantanos. All right, Pantanos Gourmet. Get y'all some Pantanos. Oh, Pantanos. All right, let's get to the Giants. So, Saquon Barkley. Devin, you want to take it away? You had the breaking news before the show?
I think Ross should.
Oh, yeah, Ross, please.
I think, yeah.
I'm so pissed. I really
Ross is pissed. Wow.
I'm pissed off because, like, we finally had a very good year last year. We shocked the world. We won a playoff game. We made the play. Saquon Barkley was a huge part of it, and now this. And it's funny because Barkley was even saying, "I'm not looking to be the highest paid running back in the NFL."
But you are.
But you are, exactly. So you completely lied, Saquon. You completely lied, and
You're
now
a liar.
we're in a situation now where we can't sign him. We can't even sign him, and he doesn't want. And he doesn't want to play on the tag.
No,
so what do we do? What do we do? We have Dalvin Cook out there.
He's not showing up to training camp.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook. You know what we should do? We should get Ezekiel Elliott. Let's do that just for week one. Just to play against his former team. Have 3 touchdowns against them. That will show Saquon Barkley because we don't beat the Cows with Barkley.
Well, Saquon is telling everybody how he feels on his Twitter. He's tweeting, "It is what it is." I don't think he's complimenting Cam and Mace on YouTube. I think that's genuinely how he feels about the contract situation because you remember him talking about it at his youth camp. Oh, is sitting out the season a possibility? Yeah, I think it's a conversation. Well, we're going to see. How far is Saquon Barkley willing to go to get paid? That's what we're going to find out coming up. And by the way, so you had the Mike Lupica of the New York Daily News, a legendary writer and reporter and all that stuff. He wrote an article this weekend saying basically that the Giants need to pay Barkley or whatever it costs because he means too much to their chances, both on the field and in the locker room. I'm not one of those guys that hates paying running backs. That's just not me. I know running backs aren't the most important position on the field. They might be the least important position on the field if you really think about it.
And can be replaced.
Can be replaced, yeah, but when it comes to Saquon Barkley, I've always said it is not just his performance on the field. It's his performance.
More than football.
It's more than football. He is the face of the New York Giants. Mm-hmm. I know Daniel Jones is the quarterback, and he's got the nice haircut and the 6'5" frame and all that money. Like, no, it's Saquon Barkley. No, let's call it for what it is.
Those quads are the face of New York.
I was going to say,
exactly. People, when they go to MetLife Stadium, they're not wearing Daniel Jones jerseys by the masses. They're wearing Saquon Barkley jerseys. Mm-hmm. This guy is the New York Giants. When you think New York Giants, you think Saquon Barkley, and
more people wear Manning jerseys than Daniel Jones jerseys.
Yeah, and maybe that'll change if he has back-to-back good seasons.
Yeah, I mean, it's been one good year. He needs more than that.
Yeah, and Saquon Barkley's had more than one good year. I know he had a couple injury-riddled seasons, but, I mean, listen, if he really wants $60 million, I really think if the Giants, if it's true that the Giants offered him $14 million, and he said no, then he's tripping a little bit.
Yeah,
but if it's not the case, and say Saquon's at 16, 15, and they're at 11, 12, if this becomes a distraction where, like I said, he's the leader of the locker room, if the leader of the locker room is not in pads and a jersey in week one, that's a bad message. Mm-hmm. I think Saquon Barkley and his agent know that. Like, if you go into a huge game one against the Cowboys, that game might decide things at the end of the season because both these teams are supposed to be good. So if Saquon Barkley's not there and there's locker room drama, and Saquon Barkley's usually the calming presence, everybody loves Saquon Barkley. If he's not there,
the offense runs through him.
Yes,
he is he's literally the Giants.
Yeah, like without him, the offense doesn't have an identity.
Nope,
and it's not going to look really good. It's not going to look good at all.
At the end of the day, Saquon is there's not one player on that roster that impacts the game more than him. No. And if you're the Giants, how do you not pay him what he wants? I get it's a lot. He's a running back. He is your team. You're looking at your how do you not pay him?
He is your number one receiver.
He is your number one everything.
Now let me answer. Now
he could throw for you.
Do you think if Dave Gettleman was still here, would he have paid him? Because Dave Gettleman drafted him.
I think so, yeah. I think it would have been, yeah.
Listen, and this is the other issue because Joe Schoen comes in, and yes, the Giants had a successful season, but that was mostly Gettleman leftovers and hangovers. This is going to be the real first offseason for Joe Schoen, and we've seen some of the moves he's made. It's been good draft, in my opinion. Good moves. Darren Waller's a great move.
Definitely.
Great move, yes.
But Saquon Barkley wasn't his guy. And Daniel Jones forced his hand because you have to pay the quarterback. He wasn't expecting Daniel Jones to have that season last year.
Well, and I think you saw that when they didn't pick up Jones' option. He kind of knew that they're probably not going to keep Jones. So
that wasn't the plan at all. He forced their hand.
And listen, the Giants shocked everybody last year. They had a very good season. They won a playoff game. And Jones was good. Was he an elite last year? No, but he was very good. He didn't turn the football over.
He was a top 10 quarterback, for sure.
Top 10 quarterback. He had a lot of game-winning drives. But the issue also is the Giants this year, because they had a lot of wins last year on this, which was a lot of one-score games, a lot of close, tight, competitive games. Mm-hmm. Well, Saquon Barkley's a big part of that.
He's the reason why they won those games most of the time.
Yeah, because we didn't really, aside from the Colts game at the end, we didn't really blow anybody out. A lot of those games were one-possession games, very close, tight, come down to the wire. And the Giants they had to be perfectly sound. They didn't have the talent to overcome mistakes, and they still don't. They're still in that rebuild mode. They're kind of in year 2, if you really think about it, because you have Brian Daboll in year 2. He won Coach of the Year last year. You have Joe Schoen that came over from Buffalo. This is brand new. Aside from his draft picks and free and signs, this is Gettleman's team in a way. It's Gettleman leftovers. So you need to try to see if they can keep Barkley. I would actually look if they can't get something done and he's going to hold out. I wonder what the Giants are they going to look for a running back on the market to just pressure Barkley.
There are 4 names. There's Dalvin Cook, Kareem Hunt, Ezekiel Elliott, and then Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't know. Leonard Fournette maybe, but besides Dalvin Cook, I don't know how I feel about any of those. I feel like they're kind of. First of all, no one on that list even comes close to Saquon, so automatically it's going to be a downgrade. But
I think any of those guys are at the age that they would do a 1-year deal.
Yeah, that's the only reason that I would say okay, whatever. But you got to pay Saquon. The fact that we're even having this conversation on
getting Waller means
July 17th, you kidding me? How is Saquon not my running back? But
I knew they weren't getting a deal done.
I had a feeling. It just as it went on, it kind of just kept feeling that way. And
getting Waller means nothing if you can't get Saquon back, and then the offense doesn't run smoothly.
I hate to say it, but the way that stuff is looking right now, and honestly, I'm not going to say if Saquon's there, but if Saquon does end up sitting and he's just not here anymore, we're looking at a top 10 draft pick next year. Sadly.
Yeah.
They need Saquon Barkley. It's crazy because here's the message, in my opinion, it would send to the guys in the locker room who are also in contract years. Saquon Barkley, after 2 injury-riddled seasons, came back and rushed for a career high in yards, over 1,310 yards, 10 touchdowns. He also chipped in 340 yards receiving. He had a career year in his contract year. I'm sorry, but if you're in a contract year and you perform not just great, but your career best,
pay the man.
You're looking to get rewarded. That's how football works.
So any sport works.
Exactly. When you have a great performance in the contract year, you get rewarded, and that's that. Now, I've seen guys less important than Saquon Barkley perform in a contract year and get the bag. I've seen my own guy, Michael Thomas, get the bag, have one great season, and then hasn't gotten back on the field ever since.
Slant boy.
Slant boy, you can go for what it is, but there's a distinct difference because Michael Thomas, at the time, Drew Brees was our leader. Drew Brees was the guy in the locker room. Michael Thomas wasn't really that. He might be now, but
I find it funny that DeMar Hamlin literally had cardiac arrest and he's back before Michael Thomas's toe.
Yeah, that's
dude literally died.
Bro died and came back to life, but
he's back before
y'all
you.
Are just piling on. Y'all piling on. I get it. But yeah, that's actually funny. It is funny. But
should they trade Barkley?
No,
they can't.
No.
I mean, do you think he's actually going to play for the Giants though? this year? I mean, after this news, where they can't reach anything?
I can't lie, under normal circumstances, and if it was anybody else, I'd probably say, yeah, he's going to play, but if you look at it, like, he's subtweeting, like, the second the deadline
what
hits.
is that? What is that?
I think he's dug in. Like, he said it might be a conversation for me to sit out games. I think he might really sit out.
He seems like he's pissed off.
And for the reasons, like, we just stated, like, you perform in a contract year, you get paid. That's how football works. And if they don't want to pay the leader of this team because he's a running back, that's really the only reason. If he was a cornerback, they'd pay him. If he was a linebacker, they'd pay him. If he was obviously a quarterback, Daniel Jones got paid.
He put up top stats at the running back position.
Yeah.
You'd be paying a guy at the cornerback position that would be putting up the best numbers for that cornerback stats. Like, you pay the guy if he puts up the stats that are that best at that position.
It's also like, imagine how disrespected he probably feels. Like he's done so much for this franchise over the course that he's been here. He had an insane year last year, and this is how they treat him. Like, real, like they should have been up front. Like take the money. You want more? You got it. Whatever. Like.
It comes back from like some real tough injuries.
Yeah,
this guy's gone through some tough injuries.
He's been through it, and he's been very loyal to the team. And
he puts up those stats in a contract year, and you still don't pay the man.
It's pretty sad to see the way that the Giants are treating this whole situation.
And you're gonna see how exposed Daniel Jones is gonna get, and the Giants for giving Daniel Jones $40 million, and you're gonna find out that Saquon Barkley was all behind all of it.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is praying that Saquon Barkley gets paid.
Oh, he needs him.
I don't know how it would look if Daniel Jones has got to carry that offense by himself. I don't know.
I got Darius Slayton and Sterling Shepard.
Oh, man.
We did get Pierre Campbell.
Yeah, he's nice. You drafted a nice guy in Jalen Hyatt, I think.
Yeah.
So,
he looks good. Killed Alabama, but
Darius Toney did.
Did you see what he posted? Play on the show, yo.
Did anyone see what he posted?
I did.
What the heck?
He's a maniac, yo. Like
he rips on the Giants for what?
F you, bro.
I kind of blame Giants fans because why are you in his DMs, bro? He's on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Why are you in his DMs? But
Dude's got a ring.
Yeah.
Bro,
leave him alone. I don't know. But speaking of, Devin brought up Darius Slayton. He had a funny analogy when it comes to the Giants paying Saquon Barkley. So SNY's Connor Hughes tweeted out, and I saw this when he did it. He asked why the Giants should pay Barkley so much money when every other team is not investing the same at that position. And Slayton tweeted back at him, "This is like not buying your wife a wedding ring because 31 other men decided their wife wasn't worth it." I mean, that's funny.
He's not wrong.
This is the same guy that was tweeting about the Giants and being super excited about the Giants, and he wasn't even on the roster right at that time. He was still a free agent at the time. I'm like, dude, you're not even on the team right now.
He thinks he's on the team.
But
he thinks he's on the team.
The whole like marriage aspect of it, like what he was saying, like that's really what it should be. Like this guy should be so like locked in with this team that there shouldn't even be a thought of like contract talks or anything. It shouldn't even. There's nothing that makes sense.
Up, here's your money.
Exactly. There shouldn't be. Why is there even contract talks in the first place, bro? Like this is Saquon. It's not anyone else. Like it's ridiculous.
Even Jonathan Taylor was surprised about it. He tweeted, "Wow."
Yeah, it's just.
I'm telling you, the players are paying notice.
He ran your team. He owns this franchise.
The players are taking notice. I'm telling you, like they want to see Saquon get paid. And if he doesn't get paid, it's a bad message to those other players.
Yeah.
Not just because they love Saquon, but what happens if I have a contract year and you don't want to pay me? Mm-hmm. Like, what's that?
But this is football. What is $18 million? It's nothing. Well, it is no money.
You gave Daniel Jones 40.
Daniel Jones. Hey, man.
First of all, the way that whole thing should have went down with both of them is they should have, if they were really like true team players, they should have talked to each other and said, and maybe they did, I don't know, but just say like, all right, like we gotta work something out where we're both still getting paid, but we're playing together. Something went wrong here, very wrong with the whole offseason and the whole contract talks.
Saquon doesn't need Daniel Jones.
He
doesn't need him. He can go to another team and he can play like a number one running back on that team.
Daniel Jones needs
Saquon.
The issue is that Daniel Jones was signed first, and now here we are. So it's something. It should have been figured out a very long time ago, and it's ridiculous that this is even a conversation. But it is what it is. So.
I think the Giants and the common thought is that you have to pay the quarterback. I get it.
Yeah.
But
it was just a shitty situation to be in.
And y'all might have played themselves. They might have played themselves, the Giants. But before we move on to the weekend recap, we got to talk about DeAndre Hopkins not signing with the Patriots. He is now a Tennessee Titan.
I thought he wanted to win a ring.
Hey, he wanted to get paid. No, that's what they all say.
Did he want to go somewhere that, like, he had a list of top quarterbacks that he would want to play with? He went to Ryan Tannehill. He went to Ryan Tannehill.
See, they all say. All players say when they want to move on somewhere, like, oh, I want to win. I want to win a championship.
I want to play with Patrick Mahomes.
You want the bag. You want the bag. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to the American people. You want the bag. DeAndre Hopkins clearly wanted the bag, and he's going to get in Tennessee. He's going to play with Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill.
I don't get not paying A.J. Brown, like trading A.J. Brown because you want to pay him, and then signing a guy that's like the same player but just older.
I saw something.
He's the exact same guy but just older.
Exactly, and I saw something funny on social media this weekend where it was like, Tennessee is the land where star wide receivers go to die, because you had Randy Moss.
Yeah, I saw that.
You had Julio Jones.
Yep.
There's somebody else I'm missing.
Robert Woods. His career went down after going there.
There's somebody big I'm missing, though. But in addition, now you have DeAndre Hopkins.
Andre Johnson, do you see?
Andre Johnson, that's who I was missing. DeAndre Hopkins now, so see if he can get some yards with Ryan Tannehill throwing in the ball. Maybe Will Levis mid-season.
There's mayo in his coffee.
That's disgusting.
You're so gross, Bill.
Is Will Levis still seeing that girl?
I don't know.
I mean,
did Malik Willis drop off the face of the earth? Like,
apparently, like
wasn't he a first round pick the year right before that?
He ain't the goods though.
He wasn't good when he played.
But I'm gonna say something about Will Levis. Like, yo, I don't know, that girl's looking kind of. The guy puts mayo in his coffee, bro. Like,
exactly this. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah,
he's gonna take what he gets.
You can come around here at WHPC and have better luck. That's all I'll say. Let's move on. The Wimbledon final took place this weekend. 20-year-old Carlos Alcaraz from Spain dethrones the legend Novak Djokovic in the 5-set thriller for his second Grand Slam. Alcaraz's. He's got a U.S. Open title to defend now, too, in a couple months, or 1 month away, so might be on the rise, that kid.
That was a big deal, right?
Yeah, that was a huge deal. That's like NBA equivalent. That's like
Y'all see Ariana Grande at the Wimbledon.
Yeah,
she looked a little pale. A little
bit.
When does she not look a little pale?
She also didn't have her wedding ring on. Hey, Ariana, you might have to come down to WHPC too. I mean,
Andrew Garfield was sitting right next to her. I mean, Andrew. I'm like the biggest Andrew Garfield fan. So,
yeah. Yeah, Andrew Garfield better know how to handle that. That's all I'll say.
Oh, he does.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. Whoa. Let's keep it pushing. Pause. The WNBA All-Star Game took place. You had Brittany Griner dunk again. Good to see that out of Russian prison. Sabrina Ionescu, though, this 3-point contest,
she was on fire.
Wild. Like, that
was actually crazy, yeah.
We've seen Steph Curry and we've seen Klay Thompson in the 3-point contest. Mm-hmm. We've seen Larry Bird.
She couldn't miss.
Nobody had as good as a performance as Sabrina Ionescu.
Oh, my God.
Who hopefully will bring the New York Liberty a title. You know what? I said earlier in the show, like, the New York team suck. I'm sorry, New York Liberty fans. I'm sorry. Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, they're going to get it done. I have faith.
Yeah.
Imagine a WNBA championship to Madison Square Garden. Did they play in the Garden?
They play at the Barclays Center
I knew
now,
that, yeah.
Hey, I hope so. Steph Curry. So we all know he's the greatest shooter that God ever created, and he's, a legend, 4-time champion, but he's also a hell of a golfer. He had a hole-in-one that went viral.
Yep.
And then he wins a championship. He wins an actual golf tournament. Like, this guy can't be real.
Yeah.
This guy must be an alien or a robot or somebody.
I think Josh Allen did also really good in a celebrity tournament.
Yeah, and then you had Tony Romo's done well before, I know. You got to put it in the hole, Jim. But Steph Curry, where does he rank among the best two-sport athlete performances? Because you have Bo Jackson, obviously.
Oh, Josh Allen almost hit a hole-in-one. He was very close.
Well, he didn't.
Wait, he won like it was like a full-on like professional like PGA tournament or whatever?
I don't know if it was PGA, but it was actual like pro
like
players
real
playing.
Golfers. Yeah, so that's crazy.
That's wild. Deion Sanders, I saw something, speaking of two sport athletes. When he was a Yankee, he had an inside-the-park home run, and then he had a pick six in the same week. So I don't know if Steph Curry is better than that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of impressive.
That's crazy. But hey, Steph Curry got it done. Speaking of Steph Curry, his rival LeBron James changing his jersey number from 6 back to 23. to honor Bill Russell. Obviously passed away last season.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Bill.
This is last year or not?
No, it's not. It's not. LeBron,
he's at the ESPYs like, I'm coming back. Like, we never doubted it. We knew you were coming back.
Fam, like...
That's too easy.
Like,
didn't doubt it.
It's not that easy, bro. Like, yo, I see it for what it is. People are like, oh, LeBron had me scared. Fam, you know he brought up retirement
in the Western Conference Finals.
Exactly.
You think he's leaving? You think he's leaving? Come on.
He got that ass swept by Jokic and Jamal Murray. He's like, oh, I might retire, guys. Changes the whole narrative. That's what he does.
But he's gonna beat the Nuggets once in the finals, and that's it. He has to. He can't go out like that.
He needs the big stage to make his big announcements that he's not retiring and that he's going to South Beach.
No, I'm telling you, he's definitely like they're gonna come back. They're gonna beat the Nuggets or something. They're gonna win the finals, and then that's when he's gonna be like, all right, screw you all. I'm better than everyone. Goodbye.
I just want to see a Bronny tell LeBron. Like that.
Listen. There's rumors that the Knicks. There's a chance that Bronny could go to the Knicks, and then we all know what could happen after that. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Hey,
just matters on who gets Bronny.
I'm done with that narrative, though. I'm so done with LeBron and the Knicks. I've been doing that my whole life.
I know. But, 2 minutes left in the show. It's time to beat the buzzer. Jake, what you got?
Embiid to the Knicks. When and where? It's going to happen.
He said whether it's in Philly or somewhere else.
You know where he wants to go, bro. Yeah, somewhere else, like a couple, 3-4 hours away, Little Madison Square Garden action, but I mean, yeah, he's coming, and it's just a matter of when. And the Knicks are going to win the finals soon, so it's whatever.
Let us pray. Devin, what you got?
Well, I mean, I know Jake just talked about Joel Embiid, but I mean, I was going to talk about Joel Embiid too. Like, can't make the conference finals, and now you're just talking about leaving your team. Like, it's tough. The fact that like you can't beat him, join him. Like, you're talking about or somewhere else. Like that's just. You've been with the team for this long. You had the trust the process slogan for years, and then you can't make the conference finals. You lose in a Game 6 and a Game 7 to the Celtics.
But it was George Niang's fault. It was his fault. It was the Anthony Melton's fault.
Dog.
It wasn't James Harden and Joel Embiid's fault.
Oh my God!
No chance.
I don't know how Yang got a contract from, I think, Cleveland. Dude's a bum. Pulling Jaylen Brown's leg.
Spider, you know where you want to be too. Come to the Garden.
Oh, you know he's coming. They're both coming, and then it's like
there's no way he does not end up in a Knick jersey.
That's a fact.
Like, come on.
Ross, what we got?
Saquon, and hopefully the Giants don't fall apart like I have a bad feeling that they might.
They already did.
They already did. And I hope I get a Freddie Freeman uni. I go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.
Listen,
Mookie? I'd get a Mookie one.
It's good about the Dodgers. You have Joe Davis, and they're from Brooklyn. That's pretty good.
You might be selling me. Well, that is the end of the WHPC Sports Talk Misery Hour. For Jake Boyko, Devin O'Shea, Ross Levine, this is Joshua Umahi thanking you once again for listening to Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
The views expressed on air are not necessarily those of WHPC, its management, or Nassau Community College. Responsible opposing viewpoints will be considered by emailing them to whpc@ncc.edu or by mail at WHPC 1 Education Drive, Garden City, New York 11530. Thanks for listening to the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.